So today we are going to talk about how to prospect cold market leads for your home business. And we've got two of the best trainers in the industry that are absolute masters when it comes to prospecting and recruiting that are going to take you by the hand, take you step by step, and teach you exactly how to make magic happen. And so here's the deal. You are in the right place here today if you are new or an experienced network marketer and you're just tired of chasing people. How many of you realize that, after you're in the business for a little bit and you sort of go through your warm market, right, it can really become sort of like a stressful business. I tell people network marketing is like the most exciting industry and the best business in the world when you have momentum. However, once you run out of warm market people to talk to, how many of you ever experienced a little bit of, stress, right? And it's not as exciting. So if you are in that place of pain and torture, and you could for sure, have some new blood, new affiliates, new reps coming into your business, this webinar is for you. Now, I also will tell you, you are in the wrong place here tonight if you do not want to use a phone. How many of us would agree that bottom line, we are in a people business, and therefore utilizing the phone is really a solid way to build those relationships and to build the infrastructure of solid business. Now, if you're looking to get rich quick, I hate to break it to you, but there's no such thing, right? And if you're not consistent in working your business, well, you can't expect big results. So this training here tonight is focused on prospecting, which is an income-producing activity. How would it make you feel if you had that skill set to be able to pick up the phone, to be able to make the magic happen? Dennis says, boom. Terry says, fantastic. Barbara, fabulous. Kathleen, super. John, awesome. Sarah, great. Scott, okay, so you guys are blowing up the chat box. So I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to my husband, Mr. John Melton. John, let's kick it off.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm sure you guys would agree. Nadya did a phenomenal job, as she always does. If you're ever on these webinars, you know Nadya always has so much enthusiasm and excitement, which is why we always have her host the webinars. And obviously, she also does her own webinars on branding, blogging, anything to do with social media, outsourcing, building your brand, creating leverage using the internet. She's the one to go to. In fact, I think a lot of you are probably subscribed to her blog, NadyaMelton.com, and I think just about all of you are part of our mastermind, I would hope at this point. And we're just excited to provide value. Hopefully you see value in what we're teaching, whether it be about network marketing, internet marketing, branding, blogging, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Our goal is to bring value to the marketplace. A lot of you that follow us know that's been our philosophy for some time now. And there's really three methods to building a home business, right? Building your network marketing business. You've got warm market, which are people you know. Like when I first got started in network marketing 13 years ago, I started with people that I knew. The problem was nobody I knew wanted to really listen to me, right? I'm sure some of us can appreciate when you're young or you don't have a lot of influence, although you might have a warm market, sometimes it can be challenging, right? Can I get an amen? Head over to the chat and let me know if you can relate to this, right? But cold market is a limitless option for people. You'll never run out of strangers. You'll never run out of cold market, and there's people joining network marketing companies all day, every day, whether it's your company or someone else's company, whether it's your team or someone else's team. So the reality is, even if your warm market stinks or you feel like you haven't done so well with your warm market, cold market is a fantastic option, but it can be challenging, right? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Cold market, strangers, they don't trust you, they don't know you. Yes or yes? Then you have social media. Now here's what's interesting. Social media has your warm market and it has your cold market. And we talk a lot about social media. Those of you that have been following us for a while, you know we have courses on social media. We talk about social media all the time. You know, we're all over Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you know, all of them, right? But at the end of the day, there's offline strategies that work really well, warm market and cold market. Then there's online strategies, which would be social media or internet marketing, maybe blogging, YouTube channel, whatever. It can be overwhelming. It really can. How many of us, head over to the chat and let me know if you can relate to this. I want to know my audience that's on here tonight. Can you relate to the fact that it can be almost overwhelming because there's so many strategies out there? There's so many opinions out there. You know, I've told people that I talk to and that I coach, I say, listen, I would pick a couple mentors, whether they're in your company or they're not in your company, and just try to stick to what they're teaching. Because it can be overwhelming, especially when you're new to network marketing, you try to learn it all, right? Now, I personally believe if someone's new to network marketing, they should start in their warm market. I really believe that warm market, making a list of 100 people, starting off with friends and family is the most effective way to build your business. Whether you're leading with the product or service that you offer or you're leading with your opportunity, you should start with humans you know. You really should. But I know and you know it's limited, right? There's only so many people that know you, that like you, that trust you. And some of us may even say, well, John, my warm market doesn't listen to me, right? My warm market is totally not interested in what I have to offer. And I totally get that. I can relate to that because, like I said, when I first got started, I was very young, right? I didn't have a lot of influence. But when I got into the mortgage business and body slammed it and made $125,000 my first year, then all of a sudden people started listening to me. Isn't that interesting? So here's why I point that out. Cold market, which is the point of this webinar tonight, is limitless. And if you can get good with cold market, please pay close attention to this. If you get good at cold market and then you make a whole bunch of money in your company, you can always go back to your warm market. Isn't that the beautiful part about network marketing? Is that you're always planting seeds, you're always improving your skill set, you're working on yourself. That's the beauty of this industry. You don't have to be an expert today. But through trial and error and plugging into webinars like this and applying what you learn, please apply what we teach you tonight so you can get the results and you can go back to your warm market. Believe me, they'll still be there. They'll still be at the same job or some other job they don't really like, most likely. And you can always go back to them later. I've recruited tons of my warm market that said no to me in the first 5 years. So it's all good in the hood. Now, you have to go through a lot more numbers with cold market, but that's how you get great. Because by practicing and practicing, you'll sharpen your axe. You'll develop skills. You'll create a posture and a belief. You'll get so used to the questions and objections people give you that you'll become bulletproof. How many of us would love to be bulletproof? How many of us would love to know exactly what to say in just about any situation, right? How many of us would love to know that any time somebody says they don't have money or they don't have time, you know exactly what to say because you've experienced that same objection time and time again. Now, at the same time, be intelligent, meaning don't keep giving the same answer to the same objection and they still end up not joining your business because maybe there's a better response to that objection. And this is also why I encourage people to do three-way calls with their upline and learn from somebody that's making the big money. If you have someone in your upline that's making big money, learn from them. Be a sponge. Be a squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Don't ever say, well, I don't want to bother my upline. If that's a real upline, if that's somebody that's truly has a vested interest in your success, they should be accessible, they should be available, and if they're not, find someone above them that is, or someone above that person that is. Bottom line, get good at handling objections. But again, I want to talk about really turning cold market contacts into new recruits in your business. How can you take a cold lead and turn it into a warm lead and potentially a new friendship or partnership? Now, before I get into that, I want you to understand the difference in prospecting and marketing, because your goal is to take a stranger and turn them into a friend. have someone that you do not know and turn them into someone that feels like they know you? There's two ways to do it. Prospecting is a proactive activity. I prospect still today, 13 years into the industry, I still prospect almost every day. I proactively reach out to people almost every single day. Now, I don't have to do it quite as much as I used to, and here's the beauty. Here's why. And some of you that plug into our other trainings know we talk a lot about marketing. See, marketing is putting out value into the marketplace. Like if I do a blog post on, you know what, I might do a blog post on how to recruit cold market. That's putting out some piece of marketing, and I hope someone responds to it. I hope I generate a lead one day from it. But do you see the difference there? Prospecting is something that you control. I can't control marketing. Not really. If I do a blog post, I can't really force people to respond to it. That's a piece of marketing. I can't force someone to respond to an advertisement. I can't force someone to pick up the phone and call me. I can't force someone to click like on a Facebook post. But I can control prospecting, because prospecting is you physically picking up the phone or hitting someone up on Facebook or sending someone a text message. Yes or yes? So does everybody get the difference in prospecting versus marketing? Now your goal is to peak and invite someone to a home event, maybe a webinar, maybe a launch call, conference call, whatever. Maybe you want them to watch a video. Maybe you have a capture page or some type of a prospecting website. Your goal is to pique someone's interest and invite them to come out to the meeting, or invite them to take a look at some tool or DVD, whatever. And then, of course, from there, if you expose them to the business, your goal is to close business. And if you don't close business, obviously you want to get good at follow-up. Be okay with the fact that most people don't sign up on the spot. Now, of course, your goal is to sign up someone on the spot, but if you don't, it's okay. All right? Now, I'm excited because we're going to bring up Mr. Justin Poletti. Justin's really going to talk about what he does to prospect cold market, meaning signing up complete strangers. He's done a lot of different things to, get signups, whether it's, Facebook, whether it's warm market, but he's also had a lot of success calling leads. So he's one of the top leaders in his network marketing company. Him and I personally work together in another company. He's become a great friend, and he's personally sponsored over 70 people from cold market leads in the last 12 months. That's phenomenal. He's developed a sales organization of thousands of business partners. So I'm just really excited to bring him up because he's going to really talk about how to call leads and get results. He's going to talk about the 10 best questions to ask your leads and prospects, the different types of cold market leads and which ones are proven to work best. He's also going to go over some scripts. Now, I'll be real honest with you guys. There's a lot of opinions on scripts. And I don't want to say there's just this one script that you use. That would be silly. But there are some great scripts that we've used and Justin's used to get the result. At the end of the day, though, I want to be very, I want you to understand this. I want to really, I want you to really understand the fact that, what you say matters, but how you say it is critical, right? If somebody's fired up and enthusiastic and they're postured, but they say all the wrong stuff, they might get a sign up. There's other people that honestly, they read the script word for word, but they sound like a robot. They just don't really connect with people. And I think that's one of the reasons Justin's such a beast, because he really connects with people. He's very down to earth. He has real conversations with people. And you'll notice he's a humble guy, hardworking guy, but I'm excited to really turn it over to him because he's had a lot of success cold market prospecting, and he's going to really get into some keys to having massive success with specifically leads, which leads he likes to purchase, how he generates leads on his own, that sort of thing, what he says. So, Justin Poletti, are you unmuted?
I am, John. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. The call's all yours, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you, John and Nadya, for giving me the opportunity here to be on this webinar training with you guys. You guys have set the pace for actually my career and all my success in my career here with network marketing. Got to meet you guys 4 years ago when I first joined my first company, and you guys taught me the right things to do. I was coachable to the system that you guys had in place, and I want to give it back to John and Nadya and Melton for putting me in the position I am today in this industry and just teaching me of what to do, the basics of how to go out there and build a huge empire, a huge organization, and just go out there to be the leader that, I've always wanted to be in my life. I really didn't have network marketing experience, when I came into the industry, when I first met Mr. and Mrs. Melton. And what I did is I plugged into the system, followed the same things that everyone is taught day in and day out, a simple system to go out there and go through your warm market and do the exact same things that this industry has taught everybody for years. And, I've done that. And basically, guys, I've went through my warm market, had great success, but I had to turn to cold market. I had to turn to leads so we can all agree. When people burn through their warm market, they don't know which way to turn. They're backed up against the wall. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with all of you how I've built my business, calling leads and prospecting cold market. And I'm really excited for all of you to be on this webinar this evening. So thank you, John and Nadya. So I'm going to get moving along right here. The keys to massive success, everybody. I hope you all have a paper and pen and taking really good notes here. You are a business developer, okay? We are not a sales rep, okay? We are here to build a business. We are not here to sell people, to call people on the phone and say, hey, listen, I need you to buy a vacuum cleaner or a weight loss shake or a television service or a TV, right? We are a business developer. We're here to develop a business. We do not sell. All right, interview. Okay, now what I mean by interviewing is you want to just see what the individual that you're talking to, and ask that individual questions and feel them out a little bit to see where their mind is, what they're expecting to do. All right, you don't want to sell them. I don't want to call John and Nadya up on the phone and say, hey, John, this here is Justin Poletti out of Pennsylvania. I got this awesome product. I want to stop by your house, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. All right, you want to interview them and see what their likes are and what their intentions are. Okay, do not sell. Next thing here, you want to use a process other than yourself to present your opportunity. Okay, whether you have a capture page system or you want to invite others to a live opportunity call or a home event or a hotel event or a recorded sizzle call, whether your company has a recorded sizzle call where you can invite prospects into, here a 15-minute opportunity call that your CEO might have that has a tool that they recorded for you to, invite to, or a three-way call. Three-way calls are very, very powerful. All right, and also capture pages. Can we agree? If you can just send somebody to a capture page where they enter their name and email, they're going to go through a free tour. They're going to see the opportunity, okay, and now your emails are going to follow up with that individual so when that person opted in and took the free tour overview. All right, work as many leads and talk to as many prospects as possible. All right, if you're not talking to people, your business is not growing. I mean, we all done this in the beginning. We all hit some brick walls. And I've always get this question, well, Justin, what do I have to do to, expand my business? What do I have to do to build my business? And I ask this question, how many people are you talking to? If you're not talking to anybody, your business is not growing. All right? Use a follow-up system, whether it's a personal call or autoresponders. All right? You have to use a follow-up system because I kind of figured it all out. 90% of people who have leads and bought leads and tried calling those leads or prospects, they never follow up with that individual. All right, the statistics show that 8 to 6 times that you have to call that lead or prospect up to 8 to 6 times, in order for them to answer the phone and get them to your presentation. And you have to think long term. All right, this industry is not a get rich quick opportunity. If it is, you're in the wrong industry, you're in the wrong company. You have to think long term. Keep your blinders on and keep focusing on your goals and dreams and your why of why you got started in this industry. All right? Now, the next thing I want to cover, guys, if you guys are getting a lot of value out of this, I know John covered some great nuggets. Let's hear you all in the chat room. If you guys are fired up, let's hear it. All right? Because I'm going to get into some really, really good topics here and really, really touch base on what kind of questions to ask your prospects. All right, so here we go. All right, why ask questions? And many people, I teach this today to my current team and organization. The person who asks the most questions will win every single time. The majority of the time, you will win if you ask most questions. All right. Now, why ask questions? Because the more you get your prospect talking, by asking the right questions, the more they're going to build trust in you, the more they're going to like you, the more they're going to, be able to trust you and say, okay, Justin, I really like what you're asking me. You're not just here to sell me something. You are actually here to help me, change my life and create financial freedom from the comfort of my own home. You will discover their needs, their strengths, and their goals by asking questions. All right? It also makes it, it makes it your prospect's idea to join you, all right, when you refer back to their dreams and goals. So let me break this down to you. This is very powerful. People do not join companies, all right? They join you, all right? So if you get that person to trust you, it doesn't matter if you're selling pink crayons or apples and oranges, that person trusts you, they believe in you, they are going to join you because of who you are, all right? Now I'm going to go over some prospecting scripts, all right? And you have to keep it simple. You have to smile when you're on the phone. All right, as many of you can probably hear, I'm smiling, I'm excited. When I get into my right mindset, when I go into my home office, when I'm ready to make calls to my leads, I have on my vision board, smile, I look in the mirror, and you're just like, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to find the next John Melton. I'm going to find the next Nadya Melton. This next lead I'm going to call is John Melton, right? All right, so basically you have to smile while you're on the phone. And here's how, a couple of things you want to ask when you're prospecting. Hello, John, how is it going? This is Justin. I'm calling you back. I saw that you requested some more information about working from home. All right, and it's simple. What can I do for you? All right, because if you know,
come back and get me. Just go to search American Ninja Warrior, and it'll say on.
Hang on one sec. Hey, you guys, we actually cannot mute out the main line today, so if you're talking, we can hear you. Can you please mute your phone? Awesome. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so you want to keep the prospecting script short and sweet. Hello, Nadya, this here is Justin. How are you? I saw you requested some information about, wanting to learn more about my business opportunity. How can I help you? All right, and the next thing you want to go to is, do you have a paper and pen handy? All right, and to save us both time, I need to ask you a few questions to figure out, what information, to direct to you. All right, now this is where you're going to direct them to, whether you have a capture page, a company website, which, if you just have a company website to direct leads and prospects to, the reality is you're never going to know if they actually go take that tour and check out your company. So we agree, it's not going to capture their information. It's not going to drip on them with an autoresponder. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a good system to plug your leads and prospects in. And I'm going to talk about a great system here later on of what really got my business up and running until, my current company already has a built-in funnel system. But I'm going to share with you guys a tool and a marketing system that is generic for everybody in this industry to take advantage of. Now, here's the best question to ask, all right, especially when, you get that individual on the phone and you start opening up to that person and they starting to trust you and they know you're not trying to sell them something. Okay, when that person on the other end realizes that you're not just there, you're not a telemarketer, you're not there to just slam a product or service down their throat, they're going to open up to you. And then the biggest question is, the best questions to ask is, number one, are you currently working from home? All right, what do you do? What do you do for work? Whether they're a stay-at-home mom, they're retired, they got laid off from their job, that's a great question to start off with. Number two, if yes, what is it? If no, what do you do for a living? Okay, I'm just curious why you are open to a home business. When you say that and start building that trust and building those relationships, as you talk to these leads and prospects by asking questions, they're going to open up to you more when you're not just saying, hey, listen, get out your Visa, debit card, MasterCard, American Express, and trying to sell them something. All right, and here's number four. What has recently changed in your life for you to be open to, a home-based business or an online opportunity? All right, these are some great questions, guys, and what a lot of people don't, really take advantage of is, why it's so important to ask questions. And this is why, we're putting this training together, and I wanted to put this training together for you all, me, John, and Nadya, because I'm a proven fact it works, because I created so many leads and prospects, and I use this same information, what I'm sharing with you, and it works. So please take this very seriously and write all this information down, because it works. Now, these are just some questions that I've used, and I wanted to share with you my top 10. So number 5, have you ever been self-employed or owned a home-based business? okay, what level of income are you accustomed to? Whether they're a high corporate executive manager that got laid off, so they might be accustomed to $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $500 a month, whatever it may be. All right. Number 7, if you had a magic wand, what would your dream lifestyle look like? All right. When you start getting that prospect and lead to start dreaming while you're on the phone, this is a very powerful question. Highlight this, star this one, check mark this one. If you had a magic wand, what would your dream lifestyle look like? All right. Number 8, what kind of income are you looking to generate within the next 12 months? All right. Now, you don't have to ask these questions, all of these questions at once, but these are just some powerful questions to ask. Number 9, do you have money set aside to start your new business, your new home-based business? Because, ladies and gentlemen, when I call leads that are looking for a home-based business. And the reason I put these questions together and these questions work because I know when I get that lead on the other end of the phone that I know they've opted in and they're looking for some kind of income that they can, work from home to create, their, financial, to get out of their financial situation they're in or whatever it may be. But my mindset going into my my dial sessions when I'm calling the leads, I know these people are looking for an opportunity, and that's why I ask these questions. And number 10, how serious are you about starting your home-based business, and tell me why? All right, so they're going to give you their why right there and then, whether they just don't have enough money for retirement, they're just tired of having more bill at the end of the month than there is money. They're just tired of working 70, 80 hours a week at their corporate America job. They don't have time to go to their son's baseball game, daughter's soccer game, cheerleading practice, whatever it may be. But I asked this question, how serious are you about starting a home-based business? How serious are you about creating additional income from the comfort of your own home? All right? The next thing I want to continue with here is great. All right, jot this web address down, this website down, and this is what you're going to give them. You're going to give them your capture page, okay? And can we agree? You don't want to sit there on the phone and try to explain the opportunity to that prospect, all right? And we always tell everybody, and I'm sure all of you on this webinar has heard it from your upline, do not explain the opportunity. Do not present, just invite. Can we agree? All right, type in the chat room. If you're all with me here, if I'm going too fast, tell me. If you're all getting value out of this, let's hear, a big hell yeah. Let's go, guys. I'm super fired up, and this is, I know this training here is going to really, really turn your business around. All right, so next thing you want to do is you're going to say, great, jot down this web address, and you're going to give them your capture page or something that they can go take a look at your opportunity. All right, you're going to enter your name and email and take the free tour overview. You're going to watch a short webinar that explains our business. Can we agree when you have a system in place that does the presenting for you and takes it out of your hands to try to sit down with every individual lead and prospect that you're trying to, tell them about your opportunity, that's going to take up a lot of time. And that's why we have a system tool in place. It's called MyDuplication Academy, guys, where you can, create unlimited amounts of capture pages. When you can have their name and email. All they have to do is enter their name and email in there. They take your own custom free tour of your company, of yourself, if you want to brand yourself or whatever it may be. But it's very, very powerful system tool. It's MyDuplication Academy.info. And we'll go in, I'll touch base on that a little more. But that is a great system to have if you do not have one already. All right, now we're pre-screening a lot of people right now, so the sooner you can get to the website, the better. And that's a great question to put in that script. All right, because you can, as you can get to that prospect at least say, hey, listen, we're pre-screening a lot of people right now. The sooner you can get to the website to see if you qualify, that would be great. All right, now depending on what your response is to this information will determine whether or not we'll work together and where you'll fit in on our team. All right, so basically you're screening the prospect and lead, right there and then, because you're gonna know if it's somebody that you want to work with just by the tonality of that person and how serious they are. By you asking those questions to that individual, you're going to be able to screen them right out as somebody that you might want to work with or someone that you might not want to work with. So that's why it's very, very powerful to ask questions while you're prospecting and getting that lead on the phone. And the last thing here is set up a follow-up appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest thing why people fail in this industry is because they do not set up follow-ups. They do not follow up with their leads and prospects. Number one, either they forget about it, which I don't believe how people can forget about a follow-up, especially when they have someone excited to learn more about the opportunity. All right, so you have to set up an appointment within 15 minutes. For an example, if someone can say, if you ask somebody, hey, listen, here's my website. When do you think you'll be able to hop on there and take my 20-minute free tour overview? It's 9:36 right now here Eastern time. If they say they can hop on at 10 o'clock, I'm calling that individual right back at 10:30 and setting up that appointment, because I tell the lead and prospect, I need you to write down all of your questions, that you have as you're going through the opportunity, and I will answer every single one of them at 10:30. Sound good? Okay, great. I'll talk to you soon. All right, so you definitely have to set up a follow-up appointment and try to do it right on the spot, or whenever they can opt into your capture page to see the presentation. If it can't happen the same night, you definitely want to call them the very next day, very next morning, as soon as possible. So make sure you set up a follow-up appointment. Okay, now here's the leads that I use, guys. All right, overthetopleads.com. All right, and these are leads that I use. They're called real-time interviewed leads. As you can see the arrow right there. And down closer to the bottom, they're called aged 7-day-old interview leads. All right, now the reason I love these leads, all right, there's so many other leads out there, but first of all, first off, I'll talk about a very powerful lead as well. They're called local leads. All right, you can see it there under the postcard leads. They're called aged local leads. All right, because there you can type in your zip code and your area code, all right, of wherever your location is in your current hometown, and you can get people that are looking for an opportunity of earning income from home right in your backyard, where you can call that person up, meet them at a local coffee shop, invite them to your home event, hotel event, whatever it may be, and they're not expensive. These leads are very, very cheap. They're the most competitive rates out there, in the lead industry. All right, so they are very, very powerful, and it's a numbers game, ladies and gentlemen. You might call some leads up on the phone, and they say, "Hey, listen, Justin, I'm not really interested. I found something already." So what? All right, move on to the next person. But let me get back to the real-time interviewed leads. But local leads, I would look into those as well, especially if you want to meet people in your local area and you have a lot of events happening in your local area. Whether your team's really pumping some home events within your county or your state or whatever it may be, that's a great way to start of getting local leads out into your events. All right? So the real-time interview leads, guys, ladies and gentlemen, they are pre-qualified. There's an agent that calls the leads for us when we order them, okay, through overthetopleads.com. All right, and the 7-day age leads are a little less expensive than the real-time interviewed leads, which you can go on the site and check it out. But I want to give you a script that I use for the interviewed leads. And the reason why it's so powerful is you're going to really, hear when I call a lead, using this phone interviewed lead script. And this is why I get a lot of success and a lot of people to my presentation, because can we agree? Yes, it's about building relationships. We can agree. It's all about building relationships and getting people to trust you. But the bottom line is, it's all about how many eyeballs can you get to the presentation. How many eyeballs can you get to the presentation? All right? Now, here's a script that I use for my phone interview leads. Hello, Nadya. This here is Justin. You just spoke to my associate. The associate's name, when you get the leads emailed to you, they're going to have the associate's name that they spoke with, all right, which is very powerful. So it's going to go like this. Hello, Nadya. This here is Justin Poletti. Don't worry, you don't know me yet, but you just spoke with my associate, John, and requested some information about working with our company through our work-from-home program. All right, we've been getting quite a few people requesting information because they've heard how great our company is, so I apologize it's taken me this long to get back to you. However, I do want to get you some information right now to review, about our company and opportunity. Real quick, do you have a pen handy? Great. Listen, I need you to jot this web address down. All right, and you're going to give them your website, your capture page, right there and then. All right? You're going to enter your name and email and take the free tour overview and watch the short webinar that explains all about the business. Make sure you write down all of your questions for me to answer, all right? Or you can give them a recorded call, like I said before, a sizzle call, an opportunity call. Now, here what comes next on this script is very powerful. Now, John, what time do you think you'll be able to spend 20 minutes reviewing the information? If they say, well, I just got home from work, or they're they're driving a car right now, just say, okay, great. If you think, you'll be able to watch it around 10 o'clock tonight, okay, great. Well, listen, here's my personal home office number, blah, 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 whatever your number is. Call me back at that appointment time so we can discuss further. I look forward to hearing from you at the appointed time. Now, this is what I do. I have that individual call me back. I give them my number, my home office number, after they go through the free tour overview or listen to the recorded call, whichever you may choose. I have that individual call me back. So I'm not chasing somebody. All right, if they watch the free tour overview and they are interested, they will call me back at the appropriate follow-up time that I schedule. All right, can we agree on that? All right, so basically, if they do not call me back, I still have their name and number. All right, and I'll know if they opted in and took the free tour, so I can put them on there and I can follow up with them later. But I'm moving right on to the next one. All right, and most people that do watch the overview and the webinar, they do get back to you and they do have questions, and that's what's great about having a system and having a phone interviewed lead, is because they're interested. They're looking for an opportunity. All right. So when you do that, if the conversation gets into, if they start asking more questions, you just want to say, hey, listen, I have to go. I'm actually on the road right now. We're getting ready to walk into my next appointment, but here's my web address. Just go take that free tour overview. All right. Now make sure you write down all of your questions for me to answer. And do that, and they will get back to you guys. And if they don't, so be it. Move on to the next one. But you always can come back and follow up with that prospect or lead later on. All right, so I hope that really helped out. I see people here. Dennis says, write down questions. Click to refresh. Okay, everyone, now here's some bonus tips to success I want to share with you guys. All right, now when you do get leads, all right, you get them emailed to you, all right, and if you can't get them on the phone, or maybe for some reason they might have didn't enter, they might have misplaced a number as they type it in their phone number, look them up on Facebook. Copy their email, their first and last name, and go into the Facebook search bar, and they will pop up in there, especially using their email. If you go in that email where you get the leads from, and you copy and paste that in the search bar, it'll bring up that person where you can connect with them on there, because we can agree, you'll be amazed at who will not return your calls, but they will answer your Facebook message, and then later you can get them on the phone with you to say, hey, listen, I saw your information that came across my desk that you're looking for an opportunity, and I would love to share, what we have to offer for you. When's a good time that we can speak on the phone? Can we share our contact information? And that's where you'll get their number and get them on the phone. All right? Your expose, involve, upgrade, guys, and that's what it basically boils down to. The fortune is in the follow-up, 100%. You have to follow up with every single lead that you get, even if you connect with people on social media, even if it's in your warm market. If you say, hey, if you call your best friend up and they seem excited, but they say, you know what, Justin, you called me at a bad time, get a hold of me next week, you must definitely keep organized. Keep a journal, keep an agenda, and make sure you write down every single person that you connect with, and make sure you follow up, because the fortune is in the follow-up, ladies and gentlemen. All right? What I was talking about earlier, ladies and gentlemen, is called MyDuplication Academy.info. Go to this website. Check it out. It has custom company funnel pages. You can create your own funnel pages. All right? It's everything you need in one brilliant tool. This is not an opportunity. All right? I'm affiliate to this, MyDuplication Academy.info, and the reason for that is, and I like to promote it, is because I teach you. If you become a user with the system, I will personally teach you how to get prospects to your capture page. I'll help you create custom pages for yourself, for your current company. All right, it's a universal and company-specific funnels. It has a contact manager. It has email autoresponders, activity notifications, email broadcasts, audio creator. Guys, you're all on the meeting burner right now, and that is included, in here with an upgrade of one of the packages in MyDuplication Academy.info. You can get this and do a leadership webinar, a prospect overview webinar, whatever you want to do. It has conference bridging. You can create videos. You can upload any video from YouTube. Your own upload video you can put in there for your own personal capture page. It has conference bridging. It gives you a web line of a 1-800 number where you can call in to have team calls, prospect overview calls, and it has a webinar room of what you're looking at right now. And it's a great tool, guys, and it's not an opportunity, all right? And it's not something, you know, where you can, you know, go out there and make money on, all right? It's a tool to use. It has Todd Falcone's training in there. Everyone knows Todd Falcone. He uploaded his training videos in there as well, you know, and I will personally help you get started with this, and I know John has helped a lot of people with My Duplication Academy as well to get things up and running for you to if you don't have a funnel system, you know, this is the perfect tool for you. When you get better at closing, ladies and gentlemen, you get better at prospecting. All right, and that's what it all boils down to. The most profitable thing you can learn in this industry, all right, it's not lead gen. It's not lead generation. It's not traffic. It's closing. Because you can accumulate as much traffic as you want, as many leads as you want, but if you do not get good at closing them, you know, you're wasting time on generating leads and traffic. All right, the last thing here is follow-up and closing. All right, this is the most powerful question that you
are now muted. You are now unmuted.
Awesome. This is the most powerful question to ask someone that you know that took a free tour and took a look at your opportunity when you get them on the phone. You know, hey, John, I saw you took a look at the opportunity. I saw you entered your information and took the free tour. Let me ask you a question. What did you like most about what you saw on the free tour overview? All right? That's a question to ask. You don't want to say, you know, hey, what did you think about the opportunity? Because we don't care what they think. Because we know we have the opportunity, whatever your opportunity is, you know that you are 100% for sure that this opportunity will get them what they want. So that's a great question to ask because they're going to tell you why. They're going to tell you what they liked about it and what they disliked about the free tour overview. All right, so it's a question that you want to ask and write this down in black and bold. You know, what did you like most about what you saw? Tell me why. All right? And they're going to tell you what you like, whether it's your products, whether it's your services, you know, whether it's about if you have sent them somewhere where you branded yourself, if they want to work with you. All right? So it's very, very powerful. The next thing here, you know, you want to, you know, did you want to build fast or slow? All right? You know, are you coachable? Do you want to build fast or slow? And what I mean by that is I'm not saying go out and get rich quick. All right? You know, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. All right? And I asked them, are you coachable? You know, if I would have not been coachable when I first met John and Nadya Melton, when I came into this industry, I would not be where I am today. All right? You want to work with someone who's coachable. If they say, yes, they're coachable, great. Let's get the paperwork out of the way, you know, and have them get started. You know, where are you on a scale from 1 to 10? You know, 1 means you're not interested, 10 means you're ready to get started. All right, so those are great follow-up and closing questions to ask, especially that first one you definitely want to, you know, highlight and copy that and paste that every time you call your leads. All right, what you have learned, all right, was how to call leads and get results. The 10 best questions that I personally think, you know, that will help you, that have helped me, all right, get to ask your leads and prospects, the different types of cold market leads and which ones are proven to work best, which I talked about, the phone interviewed leads, and the local leads are very powerful. If it's someone that's, you know, if you're someone that's having a lot of home events in your area, all right, the scripts to use and how to create momentum in your home-based business via cold market prospecting, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I know we're going to be doing a Q&A here. And the resources mentioned before was overthetopleads.com. Go check them out. You'll see that the prices are very, very, very competitive, especially the age 7-day interviewed leads. I think they're only $1 and some change per lead, which is very powerful, especially if you're just starting off, you know, wanting to call leads. All right, you know, reach out to myself. I'll help you, give you a couple of tips and tricks of how I can help you. You know, when I have some free time here, I will definitely, you know, share with you some valuable tips on how to call leads. The second thing here is MyDuplication Academy.info. If you do not have a system in place where you can send someone to an opportunity through a capture page and get them on an email autoresponder that does the majority of the follow-up, you definitely want to look into MyDuplication Academy.info. And the last thing here is the most powerful thing as well. If you're looking to build, you know, on social media, Social Network Marketing Academy with John and Nadya Melton, where you're going to see Facebook marketing, training from John and Nadya for newbies, for people that are just coming on board, for network marketers as well. John and Nadya have a course where they teach you every single step of the way of how to go out, build your business on social media, how to build relationships. It is very, very, very powerful, and it's priceless, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll learn how to, get the six-figure business building, branding, your branding secrets for Nadya and John. Nadya is a phenomenal leader, and she helps people brand, their opportunity themselves all over the world. You'll get the ultimate rejection prospecting strategies, the ultimate lead generation plan, the producer strategies for hyper momentum, advanced techniques that separate the average network marketers from the elites, and access to the private Facebook group, ladies and gentlemen, all for $197. It's out of this world. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you're on this webinar. You've been following John and Nadya, whether it's, the past 2 days or the past, 10 years in this industry. John and Nadya give the most valuable training to everybody, every one of us out there, and if we plug it into our business, we will get results. They are not six-figure earners just because they have cute smiling faces, right? They are at the top of their company because of, the training they taught themselves over the years and what they have attended, and they put it all in a package for all of us to take advantage of. SocialNetworkMarketingAcademy.com. Make sure you check that out for sure, and get the training, the top-notch training from Mr. and Mrs. John and Nadya Melton. Very, very powerful training source right there, hands down. The next thing I think we're going to talk about is, John, are you still on here? We're going to come have a little Q&A as well, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Justin, you did a phenomenal job. If everybody could head over to the chat and thank Justin for giving up his time tonight, doing a lot of training, really sharing some great insight and value with each and every one of us. I know we've got networkers from all different companies. Now, we do want to have Justin on just for a few more minutes, Justin, if that's okay. I know there were some questions asked in the chat that maybe you could answer, some of which were about the leads and just some different questions. But also, guys, most of you, I think, if not all of you, are part of our new mastermind. Feel free to ask questions in the mastermind, whether it's about, calling network marketing leads, scripts, social media, follow-up, closing, mindset, blogging, branding, whatever. That is a platform. It's a private group. Obviously, it's free and anybody can have access to it. But we want to really provide value to those of you that are in the group, that are interacting, engaging, asking questions, and that sort of thing. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, you can also head over to the chat right now and ask questions. Dennis had a question, Justin, if the leads are scrubbed.
What do you mean by scrubbed, John? What's Dennis asking by scrubbed? Are they reused? Is that what you're saying, Dennis?
Dennis, I'm assuming you mean have they been pre-screened, but, it depends on the lead you purchase. Not all the leads have been pre-screened. I would think some of them have and some of them have not. Obviously, the more expensive ones, like the phone-interviewed ones and the double opt-ins, I would define those as scrubbed. They're pre-screened. But, again, that doesn't mean that they're still not broke or they're still not going to respond to your phone calls. I had somebody earlier, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, they've called leads before and didn't have any success. And I'm like, I get it, man. I know people that have been on Facebook for a couple years and haven't had success. I know people that have done tons of home meetings and they haven't had any success. I know people that called their warm market. I know people that have, done things online, on the internet. I know people that have talked to people at a shopping mall, walked around talking to strangers. There's people that have had success in every possible way, but there's a whole lot more that have failed. It's more about the mindset of the individual and the skill set of the individual. I'm sure you guys can tell Justin has a great mindset and he's developed some great skills. You can tell he's dealt with no-shows, he's dealt with people not calling him back, he's experienced all of that, and he's giving you some advice on what to do in those different situations, but that still doesn't mean all of the leads are going to be great and all of the people you talk to are going to join, right? Now, Patty says, what do you think the average closing ratio when you buy leads? Again, Patty, I think that depends. Justin, what's your close ratio at this point on leads?
Yeah, it all depends, Patty, how good you are and how experienced you are. You really don't have to be that experienced. You might just, you're gonna go through numbers game, and the close ratio that I've been having, through my interview leads, I was closing like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, 2 out of 7, 2 out of 8. It just all depends of the questions you're asking that I covered tonight, and just hearing that individual out and asking and basically getting them to your webinar, your presentation is what it's all about. It's what it boils down to. And the biggest thing is following up with them, because we can agree, I've met so many people that have bought in leads and they never really followed up with them, and that lead just found another opportunity. And when they do get back to them, they're like, hey, I'm sorry, I found somebody else. I don't want to work with you because, we had scheduled a follow-up call yesterday and you're calling me 2 weeks later. I found someone who's a leader and reached out to me and followed up with me right away. So it all depends on you, of how your ratio is going to be on closing leads. And I want to get back to Dennis's comment or question, John, is scrub leads. You can see on there as you choose the leads on overthetopleads.com, they'll tell you that, if it's a double opt-in or, if it's an age 7-day old interview lead, Dennis, when you get the leads, you want to get on the phone with them right away, because somebody else might have got to them, all right? But it all boils down to getting them to your capture page and to your opportunity, because they might have opted into 100 other different opportunities, but they didn't find the right one yet. All right, so that's why it's very important that you get to that lead as soon as it delivers in your email, and get them on the phone and get them to your presentation so they can take a look at it and then schedule that follow-up call, because what they have looked at prior before you getting on the phone with them, it might not have interested them. But when you get them to your presentation, it might light up in their head, be like, wow, this is something that I can do. So it's basically you definitely want to get on them right away.
Yeah, 2 things I want to add to that as well. I know I was listening to a training that I think Todd Falcone was doing, or someone was doing, and it might have been Brian Carruthers, but someone was talking about how they had a lead recently get started, and they bought the lead in 2012 and just stayed on top of them, followed up with them. Maybe it was once a year, maybe it was once every 6 months, but I experienced the same thing in the mortgage business. There was tons of people I would talk to that were interested in saving money. They wanted to lower their interest rate. They wanted to consolidate debt. It was just not a good time, but they were definitely open to a conversation later. When later came around, I always followed up with them when I said I would. Even if they forgot about me, I didn't forget about them. Very organized, very structured. And I can't tell you how many times people tell me, yeah, I bought some leads, but I didn't call them all. Or I bought some leads and I only called them one time. And, if they didn't answer, I didn't leave a message, and that was that. So, and the other thing is, the second thing I was going to say is connect with them on Facebook. So, like Justin said, if you can't get in touch with them, connect with them on Facebook, find them on Facebook, use their email address to find them. Or straight up, if they're not ready, connect with them on Facebook. Plug them into, you as a friend and what you're doing on social media, and maybe 6 months from now they become more open-minded, or now they've got the money together, or whatever, the timing's better, and now they're ready to get started. So just, kind of keep that in mind. I know Dennis had one other question from earlier about do you use a dedicated landline to prospect? I personally don't, Justin. I don't know if you do.
Nope, I use my personal home office number, my personal cell phone number. That's what I use, Dennis. I don't use like a 1-800 number or something out of the blue, because if you do not get that individual and they see like a 1-888 number coming across their caller ID, they probably think it's one, either a bill collector, or two, a telemarketer. They're not going to follow up, and they're not going to answer, and they're just going to think that you're trying to sell them something. So I just reach out to them using my personal phone, and just leave them a message if they do not answer.
And then Nick, Nick, always have a tough time with your last name. Is it Stamnos? I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but we talked earlier today, and I think you had a great question. People ducking you, right? People saying they're interested, saying they're going to take a look at the information, and for one reason or another, they're avoiding you, they're dodging your calls. Here's something I learned. Here's something I learned in the mortgage business, and it's real effective, and it works like a charm. Send someone a text message and just say, are you okay? It works like a charm. I've been doing it for years. I did it way back in the mortgage business. Someone taught that to me. I don't remember who, but I probably owe them a fat check because it's been the #1 way I've gotten people to respond. Send them a text or even record a little audio message on Facebook, and I'll say something like, hey, Bob, haven't heard back from you. I know you were real excited about everything, so I was just assuming something happened. Man, I hope you're okay. You know, no worries about the opportunity. That's fine, but I just want to make sure you're okay. So you could record that as a little audio voicemail, or like I said, just send them a text message and literally just say, are you okay? You know, and you'll get a great response from those people. And it really is a concern, right? You really are concerned. What's wrong? Why all of a sudden are they not getting back to you? So, you know, it's very effective. What was the other question?
Yeah, John, if I could touch base on that too. Here's another, you know, if you call a first or second time, you leave a voicemail saying, hey, this is Justin, you know, you were referred to me. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Here's my home office number, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to take it away from them on that third voicemail or even the second voicemail. You know, hey, this is Justin. I'm just giving you a call back. I see, you know, that you're not getting back to me. Maybe life got in the way or whatever. But I just want to let you know that we are taking you off our list of people who are serious about making money from home. I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for visiting the website. Take care. Now, when they hear that, they're going to be like, oh, my God, they're taking me off their list of, you know, people who are serious about making money from home. You know what I mean? So they might, you know, and it does work. You know, I used it a couple of times and people did get back to me, you know, but it does work. It does take that fear of losses then to call you back, because when you tell them you're taking them off of the list of people who are serious about earning income from home, they're going to be like, wow, I better give this guy a call back and see what he has to offer.
That's awesome. You guys are rocking it. I'm telling you, I'm listening to you, Justin, which, by the way, you completely blew me away. This was an amazing training. And the questions and answers, do you guys like the York U's and RAs? This is excellent. Okay, so you guys, let's handle this question from Aneet. I hope I'm saying your name right. He says, what's your process of generating Craigslist leads? So, Justin, I'm curious to hear your answer because I know you've done stuff with Craigslist. So what can you say about that, or job posting, services, resumes, etc.?
I think, Justin, don't you have a training that you recorded on Craigslist already?
Yes, yep, I do have a powerful Craigslist method that I use, that I used in the past. I really haven't gotten to use it yet since I found, you know, another way with the leads and stuff like that. But I do have a powerful on how to generate Craigslist leads for your business as well.
And Justin, I know that there's some things you have to be careful with, because you can get blackballed from Craigslist and stuff like that because they want you to promote business opportunities in a certain category and stuff like that. So I think you talk about that in the training, right? How to like kind of get around that stuff.
Yep, I teach everyone how to keep it short and simple, and not even talk about a home-based opportunity. It's talking about what promoters want. Yep, I have a great training on that. If you I can.
And maybe you could post that in the mastermind, so everybody, for those of you that are in the mastermind, again, hopefully you're in the mastermind. If you're not, make sure you're registered. It's free. You just go to My Lifestyle Academy, and Justin can post the Craigslist training in the mastermind for those of you that are in there.
Absolutely.
All right. Is there any other questions? Nadya, did you see any more?
No.
Well, John and Nadya, thank you for having me on here. It's always an honor to be on a webinar with you guys. You guys are leading the industry, and setting examples and leading the way for your current team and organization. You're blowing up your company, and I'd like to thank, I'm sure, all of us here that are watching this. Not just including myself, who you guys have turned me into the person who I am today because of all of your your training and what you guys have helped me get through to my early stages of my career. I want to just give it all back to you guys, and anyone who is watching this or listening to this recording or who is on the chat right now, definitely link up with John and Nadya Melton, because they actually turned me in from a construction worker, guys. I was a pipe layer for a water and sewer company, from a blue-collar worker to a successful entrepreneur, and it's all due to John and Nadya Melton for, showing me and leading me the way, and I'm sure a lot of you can vouch for that have been working with them, every step of the way, whether it's in their current company or Nadya's branding or John's and Nadya's social media trainings that you have been, going through. So thank you very, very much, John and Nadya. I really appreciate it.
Dude, you are thebomb.com or .info, Justin. It's your world. We live in it. Whatever dot works for you. But you guys, seriously, thank you so much for your comments. I agree. I think this was like such an incredible training. I'm so fired up, Justin. I'm telling you, I've listened to so many of your trainings, and my humble opinion, this is by far the best training I've seen you deliver yet. So I thank you so much for your energy. And I am fired up. I'm telling you guys, I want to like call some leads right now. Who wants to like pick up the phone and call leads? Jump on chat and let us know. So Justin, you are amazing.
Yes,
love you.
Nadya, I want to just touch base on one more thing. Whoever subscribes for your mastermind group, I will be posting live. I will be doing live dial sessions where people can dial in and hear me calling live leads of how I go through the process and how I get them to my, presentation. So if anybody who, subscribes for your and John's mastermind group, I will post the links in there and the call info as people can hear me dial leads, as I call it, phone interview leads and different types of leads. And
awesome. Perfect. So you guys, everybody, sorry to cut you off. I'm so excited about everything you're saying. So, and if you're not, how many of you guys actually, if you're not inside our private group, can you comment something in the chat so we can make sure that you are? But Justin, that is super awesome, and we so appreciate you making that available, because I know that listening to kind of here's the script and here's kind of how you say this and here's how you handle this, but to actually hear a live interaction, I mean, I know for me personally, that's how I really learn, is to kind of just jump in there and really get the bottom line of what's what, right? So, so with that said, Justin, yes. So let's post it in the group, so that way, for those of you guys that want to really tap into the cold marketing, what Justin is doing, which I have to say he is amazing at that. Perfect. You could definitely benefit. So look out for that content inside the group. And if you haven't yet made that page your favorite, I highly recommend you do so. And it's very simple. When you land on John and Nadya Melton's mastermind, right? And you're inside the group, and there's the 3 dots right below the main image. When you click on that, you can make that group your favorite. So that way, anytime something is posted inside the group, you actually get an alert from Facebook. Ding, ding, ding. Check out, the comments, so that way you don't miss anything. So Justin, you are awesome. Where are the fireworks? We need applause. Dude, I should have played that. Anyways, all right. So thank you so much. And for the rest of you guys, here's what I also want to tell you. If you are wanting to learn Facebook ads, how many of you, if you can jump in the chat and let John and I know if you're interested in learning Facebook ads, if you have a fan page, if you want to kick it up a notch. Listen, we're doing a training. We're going to have a special guest speaker on this Friday at noon, and he's going to teach us. He's actually going to do a step-by-step, setting up an ad that works. And I think that is so valuable. Matter of fact, John and I, well, let's just say it's me mainly, okay? You guys probably already figured this out by now. So John is the communicator, and then in the back end, I'm the one that kind of gets to the bottom line, figures out the technology, the back end structure, and also I've been studying Facebook ads for a year and a half. And so, we've been playing with it. We've actually had a lot of success with Facebook ads. And really, we are at the point where, we really should start teaching it, because our conversions have been incredible. But, it's a learning curve, right? To go from knowing something to be able to turn around and teach it to someone, and for them to get the results. And because we're not just yet at this point, not there, we have invited a special guest speaker on Friday that's actually had a ton of success teaching other people how to have incredible results with Facebook ads. So for those of you that kind of want to tap into that, I'll type in actually the link here real quick, so you can actually register for that webinar. We're going to use GoToWebinar platform. So it's going to be a little bit different setup, but I'll post a link for you to register for that, and I think I'm done with that little announcement. So John, do you have anything else?
All right, everyone. Well, we really appreciate your time. Justin, you did an awesome job, and we'll see everybody on social media, I'm sure, and talk to everybody next time.
Inside the group, baby.
Take care.